When you talk about accessing native vector databases and easily spinning up multi-threaded RAG pipelines, I wonder if you can break down some of these capabilities and explain how AI is enhancing iPaaS capabilities as you guys are seeing it.
Yeah, I think that I guess rather than walking everybody through a painful like AI jargon, let's just I think there's a couple of core concepts. So, for anyone that's ever used any kind of iPaaS or automation platform, as I described earlier, right, you've got the core constructs of connecting into applications, having different endpoints which allow you to do things like update a record, pull data, find data, do something with it, and then you've got logic connectors, which is manipulate the data in some way, sync it into multiple places, do a check, all those sort of things. When it comes to AI, you've got AI specific services, and that could be an LLM itself, like an OpenAI or a Claude or Anthropic, or any choose a vendor, and that allows you to do things like receive a prompt, carry out an action based on that prompt, do things like analyze this data, tell me what's going on within it, right? So that's sort of like your reasoning and an action element. And what iPaaS do is they can basically connect to any, or good iPaaS at least, can connect to any LLM provider that you wish, right? So if your company's adopted OpenAI or Bedrock or whatever it is, it means that you can tune it in and use it with the service that you've already provided. Now, in most cases, knowledge is a fairly pertinent part of an AI use case, which is what is the knowledge that's available for the AI to reason on? So using like a marketing example, the knowledge might be all of the sales data for a specific period, right? And so you could give access to that or point the LLM to it some way, but it necessarily wouldn't know how to like break that down and use that as a source. So you have this idea of a vector database, and vector databases are very common in building what's known as a RAG pipeline. And so when you have your vector database, that's where you basically ingest all of the knowledge into it. So in most scenarios, what you're doing is you're saying, I want to push data from 3 or 4 different sources into this vector database. And then that's where I'm going to go and basically that's what I'm going to go and query or use the LLM to go and carry out the task on. So if you're getting set up for the first time, that would mean A, you need an LLM provider. So maybe you need an OpenAI license. B, you need probably some kind of vector database, maybe a Pinecone or something like that, which is a third-party vendor. And then you need some method of like orchestrating it and carrying it out. What you get with an iPaaS is, and with Trade, we have native LLMs, so you don't need to have bought one. We can do those calls for you, or you can use the API key for your own. We also have a native vector database. So actually, when it comes to going and pushing the data into that place, it's all set up for you. You don't have to go like configure it, figure one out, add a key, set up anything. You can push it straight in. And so we help you basically get the basics in place to go and get the value out of AI. And I think you also touched on this earlier. Delivering AI is still like delivering a software project, right? Unless you're buying something that exists out the gate, you still got to go do a bunch of work. You still got to deploy something, configure something, in many cases, build something from the ground up. And what an iPaaS is giving you is almost that low-code way of, here's the vector database ready to go. There's an LLM already that I can drag in and get it set up. And actually, you can get something stood up and running in a couple of hours without any real heavy lift or heavy overhead.